Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of FPL Backbenchers. This is your host Somnath. Hope you guys are doing well, and I am, as always, joined by my co-host Anjan. How are you doing, Anjan?
Doing pretty okay before Salah smashing us all.
Right now, you're rocking the world, right? You
Huh?
are on a
Pardon?
green arrow, FPL wise. I
Yeah,
said right now
yeah.
your world is rocking. So you
Not rocking
presently, right
exactly.
now, okay. So how has your game week been till now?
Well, game week was quite okay so far. I think I am on 82 minus 12.
You have a game week
Minus 12.
rank of 19k. So if that is just okay, I have no idea what it is. If you're considering the minus 12, so
12
then
actually.
also if you're on 70 points, that
Yeah.
is way above average of what people have scored at this stage. So it's a bit weird, this support timing, because at the time of recording, we still have a considerable amount of the game week to go. Precisely
Yeah,
four matches
completely
still
true
left.
about that. Yeah,
Hmm.
actually my single game week player didn't perform that much, so that's why I said it was okay because I played my bench boost cheap, so I was like expecting a little bit more points from them.
Well, whatever it is, it cannot be worse than me, and just because we both played our bench boost, at least you have some player to go in your bench boost. My bench is done. So I am progressively kind of deteriorating. Last year, my boost bench gave me 14 points. Bench boost, bench. Okay. And this year, it has my bench is done. I think on 13 points. So right now, I think I don't know why you're crying yourself a river. Your bench has already given you 16 points with Foster to go at home against Crystal Palace, who don't look like scoring. I think
Yeah,
you're
just like hoping for a clean sheet from him.
cool. It's a bit. I don't know. I mean, I have forgotten actually when is the last time we have probably properly done a pod when the game week is completely over and the new game week is coming. It has been very rare over the last few months. So right
Yeah,
now also four matches to go. There are no matches probably due to clash with the European ties today, but then there are three fixtures tomorrow night, and then there will be one more fixture on Thursday night.
yeah,
Beyond which Friday again is a deadline. So
exactly.
it's just back to back to back. I don't know how to cope up with all this,
How was your
but
week, by the
nonetheless,
way?
as of now the week looks good. Uh, I am on 77 points that have taken a minus 12, but this will progressively get worse considering that my bench is done for the bench boost, so there is nothing to cover. So, as I see it, I have got 13 points from my bench. So, if I do a back calculation, effective ownership wise, if you guys don't know what is effective ownership, please look it up, or we can do a separate pod for that altogether. The effective ownership wise, if I do look, I think Salah needs to score around 28 points in total in this game week for my bench boost to be ineffective. So I think I should manage, but yeah, things can get scary considering the fact that as to how Leeds played, especially in the last match. I
Yeah,
think
and moreover, apart from like Leeds, I think City like losing that particular match against Spurs and like title race again, it's like wide open. I think Liverpool will be too much motivated just to like
mm,
crush them.
yeah, that's the scare. I think it's a good point to start off, wherein as we are discussing about that Leeds match. So let's discuss about the Man U Leeds match because that is the the freshest in our memory. So, what did you make out of the all-time classic Premier League fixture? I think it has happened after almost. I mean, this fixture did happen at Ellen Road last year as well, but there was no crowd. The atmosphere was absolutely rocking. I mean, nothing
Absolutely,
on par
absolutely.
has been seen in Premier League for a very long time. I
Yeah.
think it was sensational. Even as a neutral, I was totally involved and into the feeling as to how the crowd is responding to this particular tie. So, what did you make
Ah,
about the picture in altogether?
well, in short, I should say Leeds' defensive problem is not going to solve overnight unless and until Cooper is like back in their squad. So I think this defensive worry would still continue. I think uh, Bielsa mentioned after his match in like post match that he is a bit worried because they have shipped around 50 goals so far.
Mm.
So he is a bit concerned. So will he like change his tactics or approach to the game? I don't think so. And if they don't change, I think they are. Mm, I think their defense is to be targeted FPL wise.
Well, Leeds are always defensively, they have to be targeted because uh, I personally don't think that United played as well as Leeds made them look that good because
Mm,
definitely United are performing much better than probably the end of Ole's duration and even like 1 2 months back as to how United are performing. At least they're creating a lot of chances. Uh, they are missing very stupid chances. I mean, Ronaldo missed a pretty much a point blank range goal attempt, which I don't think uh, Ronaldo would have missed, or a player of the caliber of Ronaldo usually does miss. But he did miss anyways, nonetheless. So they are performing well, but I don't think they were performing that well as the result stated. Also, I felt the injury to Koch played a lot of role in that particular scoreline happening. It was unfortunate that he had to be substituted after 30 minutes. Problem with Leeds is essentially as per changing tactics, they can't change tactics because they practically do not have a squad, or at least they don't have a squad that is good enough to be in the Premier League. Like, absolutely. I mean, if you look at Leeds' second team, I mean, no disrespect to anybody, they're absolute bullshit. They're not Premier League quality. So he does not have any other tactics other than to attack and try to score more goals than the opposition. In which case, definitely he will be found out against the bigger teams because Leeds don't have the personnel, especially with Calvin Phillips missing. I think, as you mentioned, Cooper is missing. So a lot of the major figures and the major defensive players in that team who are responsible for keeping the ship intact are actually missing. So he cannot strategize in a way where they can actually play to keep a clean sheet. It's all on Melia. So the only outlet would be to go forward and attack, and eventually tire out the opponent because the one thing that Leeds are good at, which probably wouldn't work against Liverpool, but the one thing that they are good at that is they can run a lot. So they, even if you look at the United match, I think by the end of the match, United players were completely knackered. They were
yeah.
like barely, they were moving very gingerly. It was only upon the substitutes, Fred and Elanga, who had just come on, and they were the most energetic, and they eventually managed to score a goal. But everybody was absolutely fatigued out. Wouldn't be a problem for Liverpool, but yeah, that's, well, whatever happens, happens. We cannot do anything, and that's in this game week. Let's see what happens. So, what did you think about the Rafinha situation? Because it is interesting that last match he did not. He was substituted in halftime. He did not start. I mean, uh, I think somebody of his caliber should be definitely starting every match for Leeds.
I think his I think this substitution should be like uh, might be Rafinha is looking for some other prospect. So just to like let him show that nobody is bigger than the club. So I think that's over. I think Rafinha would definitely start in
I'll be
all the
very
upcoming
surprised if
matches.
Rafinha does not start the midweek game against Liverpool.
Yeah,
For
same
Leeds
here.
to have absolutely any hope, uh, he definitely and absolutely needs to start the match. Leeds did look a bit energetic and things did started to happen once Rafinha was on the field. He also scored a goal. You can see his passion. He's basically a Brazilian player. He's a very passionate player. He got a yellow card for argument as to why his teammate was injured. But nonetheless, uh, that's about Rafinha. So, uh, well, United does have a game week 27 fixture, which is the all important discussion that we are having right now because it's a blank game week for Liverpool, for Arsenal. So, people who have wild carded and people who are stocked up on Liverpool and Arsenal, well, basically they do have to look at other outlets because Liverpool and Arsenal they will not be playing in 27 or the game week 27 fixtures. Uh, which other match do you want to talk about?
Yeah, we can move ahead with the Sunday pictures first. As we
There
started
was
with
no other
Leeds,
Sunday
we can
fixture barring this. There was only Wolves and Leicester, I think.
listen. Yeah,
Kind of a bit of a nothing fixture. Wolves are playing well. They are in the moment
well,
right now.
as,
They're absolutely on spot.
mm,
Mm. I was impressed by Podence in general. I mean, I'm generally very impressed by Podence. Another big news is coming back of Pedro
Neto
Neto.
is back.
So
Neto
yeah,
is back.
he is back after a very long injury. He is a very exciting
Dendokar,
asset.
I think Dendokar also look good. He is in, I think, some form of set
He's
pieces
not an
also.
FPL asset.
Yeah, no doubt about that.
He
But he
is
looked
good.
good.
He's good for apparently headed opportunities. So he
Yeah.
has the higher XGI when in leads are attacking from a set piece in the box. So yeah,
Yeah.
if you're looking for that kind of stuff, definitely Dendonker is your man. But apart from that, although he did get a goal and assist against Spurs, I would not suggest anybody to go ahead and buy Dendonker. Uh, had he been a cheap defender, then fine, he is a midfielder. So midfield spots right now are very precious. So I don't think Dendonker fits in. Nonetheless,
And
yeah, sure.
yeah, I think like many people are opting for a free hit chip on 27. So is it? Do you think it's an like a viable option?
Yeah, good thing you asked. We will be getting onto that. We will be looking a bit extensively as to whether we or whatever free hit or no free hit. So basically, that's what we'll be discussing. I think both of us are not on a free hit, right? So that will be
Yeah.
an interesting mix to see because, well, mostly the community is on a free hit. So yeah, let's see. We'll try to dissect that. Uh, let's move on to. I think this is a match that is like interesting in fact with game week 27 fixture. So what did you make of the Saints and Everton match? Because I'm sure you watched. Roya was in your 15, right?
No, I did like watch the highlights. I think Southampton had a very solid match. I think Everton had zero shots on target. That the number says everything. I think they are lucky not to concede more than two goals. I think Southampton deserved to win this match. I think JWP looked very good. Ward-Prowse looked very good as usual. I think he got two bonus point also. He was
Probably
very
I'm
good.
not checked. Yeah, I'm not checked. He was at one point on two bonus. I don't know if after the last goal he still got the bonus or not. I'm not sure. But specifically, what did you make of the Everton defense? I'm asking this question
Uh,
because a very like highlighted picture for Game Week 27 is the City match against Everton. People are
Everton.
touting
Yeah.
it to be a very high scoring match, considering Everton's defense is shit and City basically lost the match against Spurs, as we know. So people are expecting a kind of retaliation, a very high scoring affair. So what did you make of the Everton defense in general?
Everton Everton
Did they look
defense is
solid or there are minor
no, no,
lapses?
no. There are I think there are too many flaws in that particular defense. And Lampard is not that defender kind of defense first kind of manager. So I don't think this will improve anytime soon.
I'm a bit scared about this fact that Lampard is insistent on playing on from the back and you know trying to push teams and playing in a pressing formation. He'll absolutely get murdered if he is doing that with City. I feel personally. So I'm very
They
scared.
don't have that particular. They I think don't have that particular set of caliber of players playing in that particular formation
Then that is not
in
stopping
which he want to
Lampard
have.
to implement that formation. So I
Yeah,
think I don't want to comment about Lampard's managerial prowess, considering he's your club legend and he's a Premier League favorite. But I think there's a chance that
he needs
he
time.
might get absolutely butchered. Uh,
Yeah,
what did you? So nothing much to discuss. I don't think there is anything exciting about Everton right now. I mean, it's very strange
nothing.
to me that even Van der Beek and Deli Ali, who are not getting chances in their respective team, they got the transfer done. They came to Everton. They are right now. At least Van der Beek is getting regular appearances. He's starting every match. Deli Ali is also getting minutes in every match. They're not absolutely capitalizing on
Pressing
that.
the
So
balls. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, they're
exactly.
not capitalizing on that. So that just tells you probably there is something to the fact as to why they were not getting minutes in their respective older teams, be it United, be it
Might be.
Spurs. So yeah, we were thinking all along that there might have been an agenda again with the manager, but there might be something deeper. I don't know why. Uh, anyways, I think the blockbuster, the best match of the game week, probably at least till now, was the City against Spurs match. So
Yeah, completely. I
how
completely agree.
it was a absolute tactical prowess. So
Abs-
what did you make of Conte and Spurs?
I think I have to see if they play in a similar kind of role against Burnley. If they are like attacking minions power, then I think their assets are back.
I think well, if we talk about this particular match and not talk about what happens, definitely, I mean, it is to be looked at what happens against Burnley, and because Spurs always have this flashes, right? Sprinkled amongst their shit season, they always have these flashes and sparkles of very good performances. I remember even they lost against Liverpool, they performed and played really well. So they do, especially at least Conte is up for these big kind of matches. But yeah, it was probably a very one of the most phenomenal match. And I think if I go back to 2017 season Harry Kane, I think when Harry Kane was at the peak of his, I think form, uh, timing, everything as a striker, I think I saw a similar kind of performance again after many years, like last match. There was not a single fault to Harry Kane's match. Be it a link up play, be it assisting, be it creating, be it scoring goal, be it precision in front of the goal. It's absolutely amazing. Man of the match, hands down. I particularly feel Eric Dyer does make a difference to the team. It's a huge difference. It's a huge jump itself from Davinson Sanchez to Dyer. Uh, Primarily, Dyer can pass. He has those distributions and those creative outlay where he can actually get a through ball done, wherein Sanchez is absolutely stationary usually. So yeah, I mean they are resilient. You could see from Conte that well he is a genius manager, no doubt. He's just right now at first, so things are probably not his way. But you can see from his emotions that he kind of lives for these kind of matches. He likes to beat the top managers because he himself is a top manager. And yeah, as you said, it's interesting to see what happens in the Burnley match because if that is the level and the performance that they keep, then again, the game week 27 fixture for Spurs against Leeds, even though it's an away match, will be an absolute thriller once again because it should be a goal fest ideally.
Exactly.
So
Yeah,
we will
exactly.
have to see how they perform. What did you make of City's performance? Because that's the game, right? We are trying to guess how City will react and how everything goes ahead from now.
City, I think, didn't have a perfect kind of match. I think, uh, mm, I think Cancelo had a few shots. Did he? I guess. Yeah,
Cancelo played absolutely brilliant. I mean, I
brilliant.
don't know what
And
happened to his finishing. He probably should have finished off with a brace or a hat trick, the kind of way he played. I feel it's a huge mistake for people who have taken out Cancelo on their wild card. They'll regret.
completely agree. Completely agree. And people, I think,
I'm sorry, I'm interrupting
removing
you. It's really funny. Uh, I don't know. I don't did not want to get into this, but it's absolutely funny as to when the double game week fixtures for 28 and 29 were announced before the 26th deadline. People switched that they wanted to wildcard, and suddenly in everybody's mind, City assets were absolutely shit. So people sold Cancelo, people sold all City midfielders. I don't know what happened with the announcement of double game week. Did that make City bad? So it was an
City
absolutely
were never
baffling
bad.
decision as to
City were never bad, I guess.
yeah, I did not understand the logic. People selling off City assets just to load up on double game week player, not considering. I think people should be wary about going after quantity. You should be seeking quality rather. Uh, but yeah, nonetheless, fair enough. Probably it worked out for this particular game week. But yeah, if the long term game is not to get Cancelo, I think people will feel that
And
this
like
presence is required in the team.
and and like the problem is that if you sell, because I think probably everyone bought him at around 6.11, 6.2, 6.3 maximum.
Hmm.
So he's like sale value you got around 6.6, 6.7, 6.8, something like that. Now like you have to buy back him, it's again I think 7.1, I think. So there is a point 4, point 5 gap.
Well, see, at this point or at this stage of the season, points matter more than pounds, basically.
Exactly,
So
uh,
even if you are
but
paying more for Cancelo, that's fine. But there is this general theme wherein you're not paying for Cancelo at all. So people are absolutely said that they don't want Cancelo till game week 30, probably till 31. So I don't know. Best of luck to them, guys. I think most people who are on free hit will cover Cancelo in this particular game week because
exactly,
uh,
everyone will.
they go against Everton. It will be stupid to not go with Cancelo, but yeah, good luck to you. Fair enough. Fair play to you if you are not going with Cancelo. I particularly felt, let me just wrap up the match quickly. I particularly felt Gundogan and Bernardo had a brilliant match. They were on point. KDB was a bit silent, probably not as effective. He was not getting those kind of spaces purely due to the structural, like the organizational structure of the Spurs defense. They were playing very clearly in a 5-3-2 or 5-4-1 kind of formation. So KDB did not have much joy. Foden, I think, did everything correct apart from actually scoring any points, FPL wise at least. The rest, everything was perfectly fine. Foden did what he usually does. He hugged the touchline, everything. So I would not be particularly worried as to if City are on a downward trajectory, because they are not. They will eventually bounce back against Everton. I'll be very surprised if the result is anything apart from a victory for City, that too handsomely. But this does make the title race interesting, as you said, because Liverpool has a match on City in hand. I mean, they are to play City in hand. Plus, they have a match in hand, so they will be, I think, on a 3 point difference. If they beat City, they will be on equal points, and
Unequal
then the thing
points.
will come upon goal difference. So, yeah, if anybody is getting any uh,
Do you really
thing,
think? Do you really think Liverpool might beat City because City would be playing at their home stuff?
yes, why not? If Spurs can, why can't Liverpool beat City?
I think Spurs were a bogey team for them.
I mean,
Liverpool would
these
be
are all
the
just speculation. I cannot speculate
yeah.
whether Liverpool will win or not, but I know this, that until that match, Liverpool will give it all, and they will give it all to win that particular match as well. If eventually, or by any unfortunate circumstances, or by some fortunate circumstances, Liverpool do win that match, then it becomes all about goal difference. Nobody can actually lose any points. So, yeah, that is something to be kept in mind. What was looking as a clear-cut title done is apparently not. So yeah, it just increases our headache. So once again, as I said, people who ditch City assets on their wildcard, good best of luck. Uh, Hope you have a strategy to get them back. If you don't, make a strategy to get them back, because you'll need your Liverpool assets and your City assets, especially when they're going for title trades. I was doing a bit of predicting in one of my groups on Twitter as to what might be a City lineup, because I feel that this is a thing of interest for a lot of people. This is just speculation, obviously, you cannot predict Pep, but considering, well, I'm not going to say about the goalkeeper, he remains the same. I think, basis on how they played, pretty much right now with the injuries given, the front three kind of selects themselves. Although in saying that, Mahrez was also supposed to start the last match, but he did not. But I feel that he should be starting the next match. So I think the front three would be Mahrez, Sterling, and Foden. My particular thinking is Gundogan should play this match. So it is among in between Bernardo and KDB. I think KDB might get a rest in this match. Rodri plays in the defensive midfielder role. Fullback, pretty sure we Walker and Cancelo. Centre back, I think personally Laporte will be dropped for this particular match. I feel Stones definitely needs a start, because Stone has done nothing wrong this season. Whenever he has played, he has been exceptional. So Stones, if Stones starts, it depends who the next rather central defender is. Considering DCL's aerial threat, I think Diaz will be a much better fit for to counter DCL's effect. So yeah, that's just my thinking. Mm, let's see how many I get correct. This is not something that I'll be doing every week, but since everybody is on a feed and they have this interest, so yeah, that's just my 2 cents on this topic. So what do you think? Okay, we'll do the score prediction moving forward. Any other match you I missed out or we missed out? Liverpool Norwich. I don't think we need to speak anything. The Norwich goal was a mishap. Lucky, unlucky. I think it didn't matter to anybody considering Trent and Robertson did not start. It's
Another
unlucky to
person.
people who actually selected Van Dijk, who actually did a
One.
get a start but did not get clean sheet. So yeah, tough luck for them. I think generally this game week was very bad for defenders, clean sheet wise,
Yeah.
barring I don't know how many had Burnley defenders or Southampton defenders or who's the other team that kept a clean sheet? Chelsea
Wa- Watford.
and Watford.
Watford.
So I don't know who had held the defenders from these teams, but all the popular choices, be it Wolves, be it Arsenal, be it Liverpool, pretty much all of them conceded. Also City as well. So yeah, I think all in all, it was a pretty bad game week for defenders, at least till now, with the second round of fixtures to go for the double game week players. Mm-mm. I personally feel it was being a non-triple captain for Salah. I think yeah, kind of got away with 10 points. Could have scored much more, but I'm happy with
Don't
that. I
worry,
will.
buddy. Don't worry, buddy. Don't worry, buddy. You won't. We won't get away against Leeds. Don't worry about that.
I'm mentally prepared for a hat trick. Shout out to
Exactly.
Ragavoli from livefpl.net. If you guys don't know, there is an amazing feature called What If on livefpl.net. So I am so paranoid since I have not triple captain Salah. I went to What If and I checked entering, considering that if Salah scores a hat trick, where does my rank goes down to? If you're like paranoid like me, you can go ahead and check it. But yeah, I'm mentally prepared for a Salah hat trick to be very honest.
Me
Nonetheless,
too.
and especially with the turnaround of this title thing, yeah, that makes it interesting.
Exactly.
Arsenal Brentford, I think it should have been an absolutely comfortable victory for Arsenal. The goal was unnecessary. The clean sheet losing was unnecessary. I think Brentford are in trouble
Yeah.
because if
They have
we are to
played.
consider that Newcastle are playing well and probably they will survive in the Premier League, and at this moment, at least at this moment, uh, nobody generally has the feeling that Burnley will be going down. I think Brentford becomes a prime candidate, especially they're not playing well as they're not playing that good as well. As to how at least they were performing at the start of the season, they are absolutely not at that level. I don't know how much
I,
Ericsson will be changing around the fortunes for them. I don't think he can weave a magic out of nothing. But seriously, I cannot see how when Brentford will be winning any match, to be honest, in the foreseeable future. So might be in danger. Uh, they have the worst expected goals conceded. Sorry guys, we don't do the all these tables because I think you get enough of these tables on Twitter. So I'll just I just say it. Um, Pardon if you don't like that. You can mention that in the comment that you want the tables or not. So Brentford are the worst performing team XG conceded wise in the league on form right now. 19th is Everton. I think 18th would be Leeds. So yeah, that just shows you where Brentford are right now. Any other fixture that we are missing on it? Otherwise, we'll be moving to game week 27.
no. We should
I think
probably move.
if, even if there is any, okay, yeah, we have to talk about Burnley. How can we forget? So yeah,
Oh, Burnley bread.
I'm
Yeah.
absolutely like bemused. That's the word that I'm choosing to use. I'm bemused by Brighton because after so many seasons as well, I have not figured out what exactly Brighton is because they always manage to look so good and when they are not supposed to, and they look so bad when they are supposed to look very good. Burnley had not won a single point away from home this season. They had zero victory. and they go to Amex Stadium and they win 3-0 against Brighton, who are supposedly to be in a very good form. They actually had scored a fourth goal, by the way, guys. That was chalked off for, I think, offside or some kind of infringement, I forget. But yeah, what a performance. And
Yeah, what
seriously
about him?
impressed by Wout Weghorst. Uh, he did not have a particularly very high XG, so he scored from a single shot, by the way. People are, again, a lot of people are getting carried away by seeing the 12 pointer and they feel that he is an absolute must on the free hit next game week. If you have to look at it at his underlying stat, he does not have a very impressive underlying statistics because Burnley had an expected goal of zero point 0.8, if I'm not wrong, in the match, and they have scored 3 goals. Weghorst had got one shot on target. Maxwell Cornet had got one shot on target. Weghorst converted his one shot on target. Maxwell did not. Rather, Cornet did not. And the assist that Weghorst got ideally should have been an own goal and an assist for Brownhill. But since the direction of the goal did not change, so yeah. But it was seriously impressive by Burnley, and kudos to anybody and everybody, including, well, us as well, that we took the punt on Vegas thinking that there is back-to-back double game week. Sometimes just doing the boring thing probably pays off. I'm not saying anybody who did not take Vegas did something wrong, but I think it was particularly a team and a fixture that was to be taken. Similarly, anybody who had got Nick Pope um, did not look to get a clean sheet, but kudos to them because they figured out there is a back-to-back. Something overthinking is probably not good. Uh,
Yeah, completely
personally,
agree
myself,
with that.
personally myself as well, I overthought the goalkeeper situation so much. Had I just taken Nick Pope, I probably would have been in a better situation right now. At least score-wise, I went for Ramsdale. There's nothing not to say that Nick Pope cannot concede in the second match and Ramsdale can't keep a clean sheet. But Ramsdale does not play in the next game week, whereas Nick Pope does, who again has a double game week. So yeah, sometimes I again I'm going a bit off topic. So I hear this a lot around, especially as and every day the community is growing. People want to do something different because everybody on Twitter is doing it. So if we analyze this particular statement for people who don't understand this, let's say everybody is doing how many FPL accounts have you seen on Twitter? If you ask yourself, 500, 1000, 10,000. So I don't think anybody has seen more than 10,000 FPL accounts on Twitter. There might be, there are many players, but how many FPL accounts have you seen? So if what is the ratio of 10,000 to 8 million? Okay, you might say 3 million are dead players. 5 million. What is the ratio of those 10,000? Assuming if all those 10,000 are performing brilliantly well, if you're ranked anywhere outside top 10k, ideally what the Twitter is doing should not affect you. If we even consider that everybody in Twitter is ahead of you, so Twitter is a very small minority. If you look at percentage wise, you can do the math. I will not bore you with the math, but if you divide 10,000 by 5 million, you can find your answer. So that is the percentage of people that is representing Twitter. Doing the boring thing, doing the obvious thing is necessarily not the bad thing. When you're saying that everybody is doing, probably you're trying to overtake that one particular person or one particular target or one particular manager that you have set up in your mind, and you're not being able to overtake that particular person. But it's not the end of the world. I mean, Jesus, I did a tweet. I posted a tweet this evening. I saw a lot of people like, I'm not free hitting. Please hold me. Let's create a group chat for people who are not free hitting. I'm very scared. It's not the end of the world. To be perfectly honest with you, it's not even the best game week to do a free hit. I personally feel that. But yeah, fair, again, kudos and fair enough to people who see the advantage and probably will score a very good point. But it's not the end of the season. It will. This will not ruin your season. I can guarantee you that. So yeah, just chill out. Anyways, too much gyan, as we say in Hindi. Should we move to game week 27 fixture?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, let's quickly do it. The deadline is Friday, guys. So do not miss out on the deadline. With all your planning, with all your free hits, if you miss out on the deadline, that will really feel like the season is over. So the deadline is on Friday night, India time 12 p.m. UK time it will be
6.5 hours only.
okay. So that will be around I think
5:30.
7:30,
5:30. No, 5:30.
5:30. No, it
No,
cannot be six
5:30.
and a
No,
half hours. It will be 6:30. Yeah,
6:30. 6:30.
yeah, 6:30. So that's UK time. First match Southampton against Norwich. So this is a high expectancy match. We'll do the scores first, and then we'll go to what is the template right now, or what is the ideal set of people, players that people are thinking about to own from this game week. So quickly, let's do the scoreline. What do you think is your score prediction for this particular match, Southampton Norwich?
I would go for a 1-1 draw.
Perfect. I would also like to go for it's at St. Mary's. I'll also back that up. I think it'll be a draw or probably a 2-1 win to Southampton. But yeah, I'll
I
go ahead with
think
that.
I think Norwich are fighting. Norwich are fighting for their life. So I think it would be a tough match
Absolutely,
for Southampton. No doubt about that. I would like go for a 1-1 draw.
completely agree. Leeds first.
Yeah, that's very exciting actually. Actually depends how like Spurs play against Burnley. If they are if their attacking threat is as such as it was against City, I feel it would be a very open kind of match. And probably I see it to be City winning it probably by 3-1.
City first.
Sorry, Spurs Spurs winning
Okay,
by 3-1.
cool. I feel particularly this will depend entirely on which kind of Spurs team turns up for this match. If it's the Spurs team that we think, and I think, then in that case, I will go with a very bold prediction of 5-2 in favor of Spurs. So I think
5-2.
it'll be a goal scoring affair. Brentford Newcastle.
That's very interesting. 5-2.
Yeah, I
Brentford
think
Newcastle. I think Newcastle Brentford. I would go for a 1-1 draw.
Newcastle will win this match. So me personally, I would. I don't know if what is the situation with Tony. He has not been playing for very long. If Ivan Tony is playing, I can give Brentford a goal, but otherwise, I don't see how Brentford will score. Also, honestly, so I'll go for a Newcastle win. I'll go for a 1-0 to Newcastle. Brighton Aston Villa, the fixture of clown versus the clown, absolute clown of teams, both of them. So, yeah. What's your prediction for them?
Mm,
I seriously don't
I
know
would
what
go
to
for
predict.
a.
Huh? Yes,
Uh, I would probably go for a 1-1 draw because I seriously don't know what would be
that would
the
be the most. I
score.
don't know what to think about this particular fixture. I have no idea whatsoever. I think Brighton are on a downward trajectory. So are Aston Villa.
Aston Aston Villa. I think Aston Villa have I think one win from the last 8 matches.
I'll go for either a nil-nil or a 1-0 to Aston Villa probably, but I'm not so insistent. I don't know. I'll go for a 1-0 to Aston Villa. I think somehow Coutinho will do something. He was very close. I think he raised the bar in this last match. Apart from that, Villa were absolutely shit. Palace against Burnley. I think this match will be
I
good.
see Burnley. I see Burnley winning this match by 1-0.
At Sellers Park.
Yeah,
Okay. So what's your score prediction?
1-0.
1-0 to Burnley. Okay.
Hmm.
I'm not sure if Guetta is injured or not because he got subbed in halftime in the last match. Butland came in, so
Hmm.
I have to see what is the scenario over there. I don't think it will be a nil at Sellers Park for Palace, so I don't see Burnley probably keeping a clean sheet over here. Mm, But yeah, I'll go ahead with also Burnley win prediction or probably a draw, but I'll go for 2-1 in favor of Burnley in this match. United Watford.
Uh, don't judge me wrong, but I see United might be winning it 1-0, or might be it would be a nil-nil kind of a match.
I don't think it'll be a nil-nil, but there's nothing to judge wrong. I People are making way too much of a big deal of it than it should be. I feel it'll be at best 2-0 to United because yeah, Watford are not no chumps. So, I mean, at least Roy Hodgson is no chump, so he'll not be as open that you can come and score as many goals as you want. Watford will not win, but I don't think they'll concede a lot of goals. People are a bit driven by what has happened against Leeds, so they feel that United is back. Anyways, Everton, Man City.
Yeah, that's a
I
match
heard the
to
most
call.
absurd prediction from somebody on Twitter. They're predicting Man City to win 7 months. But anyways, I think that's a bit of over exaggeration. What is your prediction?
I see City winning it by 3-0.
Okay. I'll go with 4-0. I think uh, should be winning comfortably. Uh, City has changed a bit. I mean, they don't retaliate that much. Plus, Everton is not that easy of a place to go with the crowd support and everything. So yeah, I think City will keep a clean sheet, but they should win comfortably 4-0. Especially as to how Everton are playing, I think yeah, can be 5-0 as well because that's just how good City are. West Ham Wolves.
That's a. I think I would go for a 1-1 draw in this match.
Yeah. This is again a bit difficult to call, to be honest, because you don't know. West Ham have not been good defensively,
No.
although
Yeah.
Craig Dawson has been amazing for me for the past two game weeks, but no, he saved my game weeks back to back. But nonetheless, I think West Ham are particularly bad in defense right now, or they're not defending properly. I want to say 1-0 to West Ham, but I think eventually Wolves will win this match. So, anyways, I'll stick with your scoreline, Anjan. I'll go with a 1-1 draw. And save. Last match, so Burnley has a double game week, ending with Burnley at home against Leicester.
I think it would be a 2-2 kind of draw.
I feel Burnley will win this match, so it'll be like uh, 2-0 or 1-0 kind of match. So,
I don't feel like I don't see that Leicester won't score in this particular match.
do you think Burnley
Leicester,
keeps any clean sheet in this game week? One is against
yeah,
Palace, and so you are predicting it against Palace. I'm predicting it against Leicester. So I'm going for the
yeah,
home fixture. You're going for the away fixture. Anyways,
everything.
so yeah, ideally Leicester should score. They do. Rarely they fail to score, but
Yeah, rarely they fail to score actually.
Okay.
They are,
So
I think like Leicester defense is not that sound right now. So I feel they can concede, but yeah, Leicester can score.
absolutely. So basis on these fixtures, I will just quickly read what is the template that is going on in the community right now, or what
Oh,
is the kind of free hit
oh,
structure that people are looking at for game week 27, because a
well,
vast majority are free hitting. Yeah.
well. Do you want to go there first, or do you want to finish the captaincy option first?
I think that this will pretty much cover it, because you'll get a general idea about
Okay, fine. Okay, fine.
where everybody is going to captain. I don't know. I
Exactly.
mean, we can quickly discuss a captain. Who are you captaining for 27? Because
Um,
we'll be discussing it in our team, so it doesn't make sense to actually go ahead and
okay,
talk
fine.
about captain.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So the general structure of as to how or what is the free hit team, I'll just quickly say this. It's Pope as a keeper, then some for sort of a Burnley defender again. So people are essentially doubling up on Burnley defense. You can go for me, you can go for Roberts, you can go for Taylor, somebody, whoever you choose to. Uh, then people have Cancelo, and then people, basis on their choice, either have a Southampton defender or a Manchester United defender. So the structure is three at the back. The third defender is depending on people's preferences. It can be Livramento, it can be Diego Dalot. In midfield, everybody is going with Sterling and Mahrez, and Fernandez and Heung-min Son. Up front, people are going with Harry Kane, Weghorst, who is generally the captain. And again, depending on preference, somebody is going with Roya, somebody is going with somebody else. So that's the general structure. Pope, me, Cancelo, Livramento, Dalot, Sterling, Mahrez, Fernandez, Son, Kane, Weghorst, Roya. This is the Twitter template. Why did I discuss this? Let's look at the validity as to whether you need to wildcard or rather free hit or not. So now that you've heard the structure, how many of these players, Anjan, do you think you need to have to not play the free hit? So essentially,
Mm,
let's look at it. If anybody has not wildcarded or not played the wildcard, like me, like you, we will have
no,
City
no,
players in our teams already. I mean, sorry,
not me because no, not me because I had already played my World Cup.
no, my point is if you have not played wildcard in game week 26,
Okay, okay, fine.
I'm just specifically talking about game week 26. If you have
Hmm.
not played your wildcard in game week 26, you will be having a City player in your team, at
Yeah,
least a City
definitely.
player, if not multiple City players. You will
Yeah,
have a Cancelo for sure,
yeah,
or at least I don't know. If you have not, then your rank is really behind, and you need to probably freshen up your team and wildcard. But you will have Cancelo, and mostly somebody or the other will have some sort of a City midfielder, which I don't think they
yeah,
must have sold for his fixture.
yeah, exactly.
That's one thing done. Game week 25, United had a double game week, right? If I'm not wrong. So
Yeah,
I'm assuming that you had doubled up or tripled up on United. If I consider the fact that you had sold Bruno for Salah to triple captain him in game week 26, you will still have your United defender left, right? So you have Cancelo, you have your United defender left. Probably you also have David De Gea. You have a City midfielder. Right now you have Salah in your team. You probably have Bowen in your team, who also have a fixture, by the way, which is at home to Wolves. It's not the worst fixture in the world. Who would have been your fourth? Depending on again your preference, you either have Harry Kane or you have had Son, because I think most people have had Son. If I'm not wrong, a lot of people had Son, right?
yeah,
So you have Son.
yeah,
You probably don't have Kane or any avenue to Kane, and you might be having somebody like an Antonio. A lot of people already had Broya. Or if you don't have Broya, you might have somebody like a King who also has a fixture. My question is, if this is the structure wherein you have two City players, you have a United defender or a couple of United defenders, you have a Bowen, you probably also have a Son, do you need to use the free hit chip? Because
No, I don't think so.
I feel if you can field even 10 players, and if the hit that you're taking on the well, if you're doing a free transfer, obviously it's very obvious that you'll be taking a Burnley defender, or rather a Burnley player in that sense. If you're even taking a hit and you're going on to take somebody like probably a Weghorst in your team, I think there is value to save the free hit chip, because essentially you're targeting the United match, which I feel it will not be high scoring. It should not be high scoring. I think it will eventually turn out not to be high scoring as well. You already have two City players, so that's attacking wise. You already have two players because everybody in City attacks. Cancelo is very attacking. There is no guarantee that the third midfielder or the third spot that you fill up, that person will play or not. Even if that person plays, there have been instances where City have scored 5 goals and Bernardo has played the whole match and he has scored just 2 points. That is also a possibility. That does happen. So, uh, there is no point in playing. I don't feel Southampton will be keeping a clean sheet. So, if you are, I mean, this might be an unpopular opinion. I don't even think Broya is nailed,
Yeah,
because they have
because
Adam. They have, sorry,
because see their fixtures. I think they have, I think, matches after every
they have 5
3 days.
matches in
Uh,
15 days.
yeah, and like one more thing, they would like prioritize, I think, cup, because
Yeah,
I
because
feel,
they don't have anything
I
to play for
think,
in the league,
yeah, exactly.
right? So, this is the. I mean, if you are wildcarding to get a Roya or a Southampton defender, or you want to double up on Harry Kane, I don't think I don't even feel probably Leeds is a fixture for Harry Kane. I'm a Harry Kane owner, by the way. I don't think it's the best fixture for Harry Kane. It is more suited towards the Sun. I'm assuming a lot more people have Sun than they have Kane. So, personally, I think you're probably getting waved into the Twitter mania or the community mania that you have to use a free hit, even when you have 7, 8 players. I think you can actually save the free hit. That's just my personal opinion. uh,
And just like one more thing, okay, how much points would you gain from your original team if you like free hit now? You have to like calculate that particular thing also.
I
Like,
think the average would be around, if I'm assuming that somebody is free hitting and everything is going in their favor, the average would be roughly around 70 points, 75 points. I think I'm saying best case scenario 75 points. Even in your existing team, it can easily, you can go to a lot of websites that do this kind of calculation, be it FPL review, be it, I don't know, somewhere else. But if you have this structure of team that we just mentioned, you can easily get roughly around 55, 58 points. How many points are you actually losing? Is it, do you think if you're using a free hit on a much bigger double game week, you can cover 15, 20 points or not? I think you can.
yeah,
If
exactly.
you can free hit, and if it's a huge double game week and you're getting all 11 double game week players handpicked particularly for that game week, I think you can easily beat 20 points. The difference will not be even be 20 points, to be honest, because you also have your free transfer and you can take a hit. I mean, this myth about hit, it's very weird. Well, this was about people who did not wildcard. Let's look at people who did wildcard. So I'll just bring up a kind of template team. I've taken Andy's team, by the way. Let's talk FPL Andy. So why have I taken his team? Because a lot of people do follow him, so I feel that. that will be kind of the go-to template that wildcard 26 would be. So Andy had got Sa in his team as keeper, Trent, Van Dijk, Tierney, Saiz. I will pretty much expect that to be the structure for everybody. Saka, Son, Rafinha, Salah in midfield, Jimenez, Lacazette. Now, mind you, people who have wildcarded in 26, they are also actually setting up their team for game week 30,
28,
as well as the game week 28 and 29 double game week.
28 and 29 double.
So Jimenez, Lacazette on the bench, he has Dubravka, obviously with the intention that he probably will bench boost later down the line. Dubravka has back-to-back double game week. Broya on his bench, Ramsey on his bench, and Lucas Digne on his bench. So even if this is the team, does this require a free hit? Because let's look at it. Sa has a fixture. It's a decent fixture, you can say, against West Ham. Okay, double Liverpool defense does not play. Arsenal defense does not play. Saiz does have a fixture. Uh, Lucas Dean has what? Lucas Dean has a fixture, right? Yeah, it's Brighton away. Not a bad fixture to actually go ahead with. Son, Rafinha, they do have fixtures. Salah, Saka again don't. Jimenez, Lacazette. So if this is your team, if you have essentially wildcarded in 26, and if this is the structure of your team, you probably have pushed yourself to the back wherein you have to free hit because
Yeah, exactly.
you don't have a lot of players, which makes sense because well, it does not make sense at least wildcard wise. Where I don't understand why there is no City player in the team. But anyways, nonetheless, if this is the structure of your wildcard team, you have to free hit because well, you have chosen to do that essentially. But people who have not wildcarded and who at least as the I'm sorry, I don't have a template picture of what is the uh, template free hit team. I'll just repeat it once again. If you have Pope, a Burnley defender, a Cancelo or a City defender, or a double up of City defender, or a City defender and a United defender, or a City defender and a Southampton defender, whatever with the permutation and combination. Basically, three at the back, one Burnley defender, one City defender, and then you pick your choice. Second City defender, Southampton defender, or United defender, whatever is your pick. Pope at the goalkeeper position. Sterling Mahrez, or basically two City mids. Bruno Fernandes, Heung-min Son, and up front Harry Kane, Weghorst, and Broya. So if you have roughly around even, I would say like 8 players out of these, I don't think you need to free it because think about it. How many points will those essentially three players give? There's no point to free hit. Or even if you have seven, because I don't think there's. I know people who are going into this 27 fixture with just 9-10 players and they're rolling over a transfer. It looks like an recency bias, an urgency bias that you have to go for these pictures. It's not. These are not even like the. I don't think it's the best game beat to wildcard free hit to be very honest. Anyways, so let's just quickly have a look at the uh, fixture ticker, future fixture that are coming up. As you can see, we would be entering 27. After which, if you're not aware, in 28, uh, this table particularly has been done by Lego Mane, wherein he has put in the probability of Chelsea and Arsenal having a double game week on 28. So if that happens, Chelsea, Arsenal will have a double game week. But right now, Leeds United, Aston Villa, Newcastle, Wolves, Southampton, Watford. These are the six teams that have a double game week in 28. So if you are not going to use any chip in game week 28, you should be mindful of your transfer and you're planning to bring in these kind of people. 29 again, Newcastle have a repeat double game week, so they have back-to-back double game week, much like how Burnley have right now. Barring this, Brighton have a double game week, which is frankly not that good. Liverpool and Tottenham. Everton has a double game week. Arsenal will be having a double game week. Spurs has a double game week. Liverpool has a double game week, and Yeah, that's about it. So 6 teams more again have a double game week, and game week 30, although it is not mentioned, but if you can see the asterisk mark behind the teams, these are the teams that have high chances to miss out on a fixture. Why will that happen? That will happen because of FA Cup. Which round, Anjan? What is the round that we'll
Quarterfinal,
be entering? I think fifth
quarterfinal,
round or quarterfinal.
quarterfinal.
When will you get to know which team's plan? You will get to know this before the game week 28 deadline, because
Before 28
in
exam.
between game week 28 and game week 27 is the FA Cup fixture. Also,
Yeah.
the League Cup final is also there. Oh, I think that's
Yeah.
on 26th, if I'm not wrong.
27. It's on Sunday.
Okay, it's on Sunday, so it's on 27th of February,
Hmm.
and I think FA Cup fixtures are on 2nd and 3rd. So you will get to know uh, what are the fixture and which teams are blanking and which teams are playing on game week 30. Right? If you can somehow, there would be many people who are wildcarding on 28. Right? That's one of my strategies as well. I'll probably will be wildcarding on 28. If you can manage to save your wildcard and if you feel you can navigate through 28, 29, and 30, I think 31 is a very good time to wildcard. Just putting this out there. Anyways, Anjan, let's bring up your team and we'll discuss a bit about your strategy as well, because it's interesting for people who don't know. Anjan does not have a wildcard because you already used it in game week 23, if I'm not wrong,
3.
23, 24, 23.
23.
And also you have played your bench boost this game week. So let's bring up your team. I'll just quickly read. You have Foster in goal. You have Ryan Nouri, Cancelo, Luka Dean, Bowen, Mahrez, Rafinha, Broya, Weghorst, Captain Kane. So what are your plans? Right now I see you have 10 players.
Yeah. Right now I have a 10 players. Definitely a Burnley defender is coming in my team in place of Gabriel. Then
Okay.
that is for sure. Then the next option which I'm thinking of, I think it sounds very weird, but yeah, it's just a thought. I probably might sell Salah for Sun. That's my
Doesn't
idea.
seem very odd to me, but anyway, carry on.
Yeah, the, that's my plan. And so I
So
have to
let me ask you
manage
this.
my team. No, like
For
I
Salah
have
to
to, like
Son.
Salah to Sun. So I have to manage my team because I don't have that luxury of having a wild card in my bag. So I would probably skip Salah for the West Ham fixture. I would like take his points with a pinch of salt because I think Spurs on 28 are playing Everton at home.
So you are saying you will be keeping Son for the West Ham fixture, which Salah has. You will not be getting Salah
Yeah,
back. Is that what you're saying?
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Yeah, means
So, have you figured out if you do these transfers? So, if you're doing Gabriel to a Burnley defender, and if you're doing Salah to probably Son, so how many double game week
some
players do you have for 28?
uh, you count for me. I don't remember, but I think I have a Aston Villa player.
Uh,
I have a Wolves player.
Let me pull it up for you.
I think I
I
think I'll
forget
be
who
having
was
six.
double in 28, to be honest. Okay. So, Southampton,
Uh,
Newcastle, Wolves, Watford, Leeds, Villa. Hmm. Let's look at your
yeah,
team.
I have one Southampton player. Broya is there in my team.
You have Goya,
Bojan is
Foster, you will have Ryan Nouri, you
yeah.
will have Lucas Dean,
Lucas
so that's
Day.
four players. Mm, Apart from that, you will be having Rafinha, that's five players, and yeah, you already do have five players, and you will have one free transfer at least, so doesn't look bad.
So I would look for a hit. I think probably I would sell Riyad Mahrez in that particular week, and I would look for a Coutinho, or I might sell Bowen for Coutinho, or if like
I think Bowen has to go first.
yeah, and like actually depends on like if like Chelsea fixtures, if like Chelsea fixtures get doubled in 28, then I think probably I will sell Riyad Mahrez for someone Chelsea made.
Who's the Chelsea mid? Ziyech?
Probably Ziyech, Mount, Havertz.
Looks like Neil, right? Doesn't he?
Yeah,
Anyway, so Anjan, like quickly, what is your chip strategy? So you obviously don't have chips. So what are the chips that you do have right now? You have triple captain. You have two free hit chips, right? I'm not wrong.
yeah. I have triple captain, two free.
Okay. So firstly, why didn't you choose to play your triple captain in the best possible triple captain fixture of the
Uh,
season?
because I just wildcarded on 24 and my bench was, I think, bench looked quite good enough. And I thought
Mhm.
like I should play my bench boost because in the later part in 35, 36, I like don't want to carry a very expensive bench with me. So probably I thought this is the best time to play my bench boost chip. So I
True.
played my bench boost and triple captain. I'm looking for a right kind of opportunity to arise exactly. Like I think Game Week 29, Salah is a good candidate. I think he plays both
He
the
has
pictures
Brighton
away,
away and Arsenal away.
Barcelona and Arsenal away. Yeah, Salah can score against anybody. I think Brighton away is not that
I
hard kind
think
of fixture.
the title being in contention makes it much more interesting. I think
Yeah, exactly,
Liverpool will go for
exactly.
it.
Yeah, Liverpool will go for it, and like I think right now the goal difference between both City and Liverpool is I think three. I think City are plus 47 and Liverpool are plus 44. So like they would try to compensate that particular three goals. I think
Mm, true.
so. I think.
Anybody
Um,
particular apart from Salah that you're looking? You if
uh,
you're not, are you sure you'll be using triple captain in 29?
uh,
Like you're
quite
fixed on that?
confirm.
Okay,
Quite confirm. Yeah,
cool.
quite confirm on that. But still, uh, any fixtures and the new fixture development won't happen before I think game week 20, game week 29 na
Yeah, should be.
should be. So like if any new fixture, if any new opportunity arises in that particular fixture, then okay, my like plan might change. But again, I think everybody wanted to captain Salah against Leeds and Norwich. Okay, I couldn't captain. I just like couldn't captain. Yeah, so I will get the chance again to triple captain Salah only. So better to
It
use that
doesn't matter.
particular moment.
I feel this has been made too much out of because yes, sensibly, game week 26 was the best chance to triple captain. Yes, Salah was the best triple captain choice. Yes, Norwich home and Leeds home were the best fixture. But it is not about the best possible triple captaincy choice. It is about the right strategy for your team, considering where your team is at right now. So,
Exactly.
wherein you feel it can give you maximum advantage. Even if I do get a small red arrow from not triple captaining Salah this game week, whether this decision of not triple captaining and using the bench boost and using triple captain later is successful or not, I'll not know until the season is over because a lot of small pieces go into it. So, yeah, fair enough. Your captain,
So
you're set on Vegas?
wait, I'll just come. So that is my triple captainship, and my remaining free chip. I think one probably I will use on game week 36 because I think that would be a big double game week.
Hmm.
And I don't know like which I don't know which particular team will get double in the particular game week, and I my team which like set of players I would be having at that particular moment. I think that's a very nice opportunity. And another feature that is actually fixture dependent right now. Not sure about that.
Cool, cool, cool. Not an issue. I'll pull up my team.
And
I'll just quickly read through it. This is without any transfer right now, so I have one free transfer left. I have De Gea in goal, Dallo, Cancelo, Dawson. Um, I'm just reading out the playing players, right? Ramsey, Bowen, Foden, Weghorst, Kane. So right now the captain shows Foden. Foden is not my captain by any chance. I will be captaining Weghorst. This was not set properly. I have one free transfer. I'm looking to transfer out Salah to Sun, and probably get somebody in place of Gabriel. Burnley defender, I'm not sure. Might be Connor Roberts, might be Ben Mee. I'm leaning a bit towards Connor Roberts, to be honest, because he has those attacking potential, but Me is, I think, 100% guaranteed to play both matches, so have to consider that. I also, much like Anjan, did not play my triple captain. The reason being that, as I mentioned, I felt that was the best possible strategy for me. Had you told me before rather the game week had started, that Dallo will not be starting, I would not have played my bench boost. But well, that's how the cookie crumbles sometimes. So essentially, Spurs versus Man City was a high-scoring match. It was unfortunate that Foden did not contribute anything. I had Dawson on my bench, who actually did give a goal and he got a bonus. So yeah, I think in isolation, if you look at it, it was the right decision. It did not just pan out. I also had a reason as to why I wanted to bench boost right now and not for a wait for a double game week, because uh, well, that's how we play every year, and that entails doing a wildcard just before the double when we are bench boosting. So the effectiveness of wildcard is essentially lost because that kind of double game week you receive around 36. So if I'm wildcarding 35, I don't think my wildcard has enough time to take effect on my rank whatsoever because hardly 3 game weeks left. So yeah, I did not feel that was the right decision to do. Plus, if you are building a wildcard to do a bench boost, you have to distribute your funds throughout your entire 15 because you're ideally looking to play all 15. I wanted to be in a situation where I have used the bench boost and then I'm moving away from the bench boost to a much more leaner team and much more invested team in the starting 11. That's why I did that. I have absolutely no regrets as to why I chose that decision. Uh, yeah, speaking that, I do not have a plan to triple captain Salah right now in 29. I'll be waiting. I think I'll be getting an opportunity later down the line, wherein City will mostly definitely have a double game week due to FA Cup postponements and stuff later down the line. So if that happens, I think Cancelo can be a very good triple captain choice, and there will be other City options. Leicester have a lot of fixtures to be getting to be rescheduled. I think Vardy has been a forgotten entity. If he's coming back, and well, Vardy is always nailed, and
yeah,
Vardy is
Bardi,
very
I think Rothers told I think Bardi would be back within a week or two.
so yeah. They have 3 fixtures to reschedule. So
Yeah.
if any favorable picture, definitely Vardy is in, and I can put the triple captaincy. So yeah, I'm waiting for the right opportunity. I think me particularly, I believe triple captaincy and 3 hit chips in particular are like boost chips. So the closer to the end of the season that you use, it gives you a much higher boost in rank rather than when if you're using it earlier. So if you have successfully even used a triple captain on somebody who has scored 5 goals in a game week, but you have used a triple captain chip in game week 2, I can cover those points over the course of the next 36 game week. But if I have used a triple captain chip around 35, 36, 37, my opponent or anybody who I'm competing against really does not have time to cover those points. So that's why it's a boost kind of a chip. Bench boost is not, because Anybody and
So,
everybody can be planning around it. Yeah.
like, what's your chip strategy? Like, you have wild card left, you have triple captain, you have two free hit. So, what are your thought
Ideally,
process
right
right now?
now, sorry,
So, what are your like thought process?
thought process wise, I would be taking a hit as I suggested in 27. Ideally, and I think most probably, I'll just still have a look. I have not looked properly, but I'll be wildcarding in 28. I'm 90%, 95% sure. Uh, which will be essentially, I was saving my wildcard to a time where the double game week fixtures were announced so that I could take advantage of it. So let's see. I would also be waiting for the Chelsea fixture to drop in. If something is dropping in 28, I think that gives me an advantage. That'll be wildcarding around 28. I can navigate 28, 29, 30 easily through that. Triple captaincy, as I said, it's absolute and opportunistic chip for me. Wherever I see the opportunity to go different from the masses and I see huge potential, huge upside, I will go for it. Free hit chip, one I'm definitely using when everybody else will be using their bench boost. So that week I'm definitely free hitting. Uh, that's one free hit chip done. I think mostly people will be going for a game week 36 kind of a bench boost. So I think game week 36 would be where I will be using my free hit. If I can navigate the rest of the wild card, rest of the double game weeks in between 33, 35, so I will like to do that with transfer and then I'll like to use my free hit chip in game week 38. Otherwise, probably in one of the double. That's my sort of brief shift plan right now, which is obviously subject to change with situation around.
So,
So yeah, that's about our plan. That's about anything. Quickly, I think we have done the pod very much centered towards uh, not free hit teams. So for free hit people as well, we have already rather mentioned what is the template that is going around in the community. If you're looking to free hit, if you're lacking ideas, you should be having at least one Burnley defender. I think Nick Pope is by far the best goalkeeper option for a free hit if you're free hitting. No, don't overthink that. Having another Burnley defender, smart choice. To have a City defender, you can choose to double up on your City defense, or you can select single City defense. Barring this, you it's upon your prediction and what you feel. You can go for a Southampton defender. You can go for a Kyle Walker-Peters as well. You can go for a double up of City defense, or you can go for a Manchester United defender. Midfield, the template going around is two midfielders in specifically Sterling and Mahrez. Bruno Fernandes, everybody is going for. Son, everybody is going for. Harry
I
Kane,
think,
everybody is
uh,
going for.
I, I think in
Let
City
me
mate, I
finish.
think,
Do not
okay,
break
sorry.
the momentum. Let me finish. Harry Kane, everybody is going for. Weghorst is somebody and Broya. So that completes your 11. Right. Now, Anjan, you can say. What do you?
I think Gundogan might be an option also. Like people who
Yeah,
are
so that's what I was
waiting.
wanting to say basically. This is the template, and we understand we have not structured our pod towards much leaning towards probably that's driven from the fact that none of us are preheating. So I wanted to repeat the template, and now I would like that probably let's suggest five differential that probably the I think the community is missing. Uh, in the sense of preheat. Again, do not try to be different thinking everybody on Twitter is doing it, so let's not do it. As I told you already, the percentage of Twitter compared to the entire FPL managers is very less. But I feel people are a bit, or rather, are missing out a bit of an opportunity. We'll suggest five, so I'll go first. I think James Ward-Prowse is absolutely a shoe-in. At this point, if you're not considering James Ward-Prowse for your rather free hit team, it's almost diabolical. I don't understand how people can go for Broya over JWP. So yeah, that would be my differential pick. Anjan, you go. Next, who do you think
I think I
gets
think
overlooked?
uh, Gundagon is an option. I think like
Okay,
he looked,
then
yeah, I think he looked quite good against Spurs also, and
mm,
I think like he should definitely start this match. But again, Pep, you you might
he
never
ideally
know.
should start this match to be very honest, but
Hmm.
yeah, never know. Uh, Another differential that you can consider to kind of gain rank, I think everybody is focused on probably doubling up on city midfielders. I think it's better to double up on Spurs midfielders, and since probably everybody will be having Son and Kane, I think Kulusevski is a very good option. He
Yeah,
looked brilliant last game. We did
he
not
looked
speak about him in our match analysis, but I think if you can own him, he'll be a very decent potential player.
true. Uh, and speaking of Spurs option, I think Romero might be an option. I think
I will
Leeds.
not touch the Spurs defender. They will concede
Yeah.
for sure. Don't go for Spurs defender. Your turn, Anjan. You will suggest one more differential, and then I'll go for one more differential. That's
Uh,
the differential
um,
that we talk about. Let me just look at the pictures.
I
Go ahead,
think
your turn.
I think you can go for a Luke Shaw. Like people are mostly going for Diego Dalot. I think Luke Shaw is more nailed than Diego Dalot, and I don't feel like Watford scoring in that particular match.
Yes, it's a very boring differential to be honest. Who selects Luke Shaw as a differential? He's barely a player. Anyways, I think okay, since Anjan's one was such a like a tart kind of a thing, I'll suggest two players. One, I think if Callum Wilson is not playing, I think Joe Willock is a very good option against Brentford. Can look there. He's a very good differential. Nobody will be owning him for sure. Another one that probably is being overlooked is uh, Conor Gallagher will be playing. He'll be back for the Burnley match at home. He's a decent punt, good form, and he is very central to whatever Crystal Palace does. So there you go. I think to sum up, if we have to say five differentials, I think we mentioned Kulusevski, we mentioned Joe Willock, we mentioned James Ward-Prowse, we mentioned Conor Gallagher, and we mentioned who else?
Gundogan.
Ilkay Gundogan. Five midfielders, not bad. So if you want to spice up something, you can actually go ahead and check these players out. If you, I think if this is the template, going one or two different is absolutely fine. But do not go too much different from the template because it's a template for a reason. Because it's a template.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Saying that, good night, guys. All the best for the upcoming game week. Hope you guys have a good second half of the game week, double game week 26, and a brilliant game week 27 coming forward. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you have stayed with us till now, and drop any feedback that you might have for us. Goodbye and good night.
Good night, guys. And one more thing, just one more thing. Remember the deadline. It's on Friday.
Yeah, it's on Friday. Friday Saturday. Goodbye, guys. Bye bye. And d- another sorry. Before anything, do not forget to activate the free hit chip. It should not be that you've used a lot of negative and you've forgotten to activate the free hit chip. So do that, right? But I would wait to press the free hit button until the second set of double game week 26 fixtures are over because you do not know who might get injured, and if players are injured, then essentially you might not need that player in free hit, so you might not need to free hit at all, right? So bye bye guys, and all the best.